everyone, welcome to the Learner's House. In this video, we are going to start a new chapter, and that is hypothesis testing. Please make sure that before watching this video, you have watched all the videos of confidence intervals chapter, because these two chapters are closely linked to each other. So first of all, we would understand the need of hypothesis testing, that why do we need this, in what areas specifically we need it, and also what is hypothesis testing, and that would be our main question. And then we would come to the topic on how to determine or how to take the test and all. Alright, so first of all, let's understand the need. What's the need of hypothesis testing? Hypothesis testing is basically some statistical test which help us in so many ways. These are used in so many industries. For example, it could be education, it could be advertisement, it could be insurance also, and that's a very important topic. Like, insurance is the industry where we use these tests more often as comparison to this. So let's understand few examples which are given in our book itself. So let's say we have two drugs, drug A and drug B, and by this I basically mean a medicine of some treatment, let's say cancer. So first of all, we have 10 patients and we are giving them drug A and drug B. Let's say that drug B is a new invention and we want to check if drug B is more effective than drug A or not, because if it is more effective then we would use this obviously. So first of all, we want to check if is it really a change, is it really effective than the previous one. So this is our question, and we can do this by our statistical test. Yes, it may seem surprising, but we can do it with the statistical test. So now you can understand the importance. Next example could be, for example, we have we are running a company and we have so many employees. So we have given the employees a special training, and we want to check the efficiency of our employees after this training and before this training. What was the efficiency before training and what is the efficiency after training? Because if there is no change in their efficiency even after the training, then there is no point in giving training which is taking our all expenses, our efforts, cost. So why would we increase these factors unnecessarily if there is no effect of all these things? So that's the point. Next example could be, for example, that we have a motor insurance company, and that company is worried about the future claims. Company is thinking if there could be the insolvency in the future, company want to prevent it. Obviously, company want to run everything so smoothly, so it want to forecast the number of claims or the amount of claims, that what would be the maximum claim that could be there, or these things. So the company wants to predict these claims. Basically, it could be the number or it could be the amount. That's pretty sure that the number or the amount, whichever the company will predict, will not match the exact amount accurately. That's obvious, but we can at least get a approximate value. So this is what we are looking. And how can we calculate this? How can we determine this? How can we forecast it? What we can do is we can see that if the claims are consistent with some particular distribution. For example, I want the mean of claims, mean number of claims that would occur. So if that number of claims follow a particular distribution, then I would have a formula which I can apply to determine the mean, and so on. Alright, so this was the need of hypothesis testing. We can we can compare two things in hypothesis testing. Also we can see if our claims, if our any kind of number, any kind of amount is following any particular distribution. Alright, so this all we can do in due to hypothesis testing. These statistical tests have a lot of importance, which we can see with these examples which I have just explained. Now let's understand the part what hypothesis word mean. So what hypothesis basically mean is, hypothesis is a statement which is assumed to be true, which is assumed to be true. We may have the evidence also, but they are proving that the statement is not false, but they are not accurate enough, which are saying that the statement is true. It's the statement which we have made. Alright, we don't have a particular proof for it. So these type of statements are known as hypothesis. What we want to check is, we want to test our hypothesis. What our aim is? Test our, let me write it again, aim of the chapter. Test our hypothesis. For example, I am saying that drug A and drug B both are effective, both are equally effective in the cancer treatment. I am saying this. I have no proof for the statement I am saying, but I am saying that these two are equally effective. So now I want to check if these are equally effective or if these are not. Okay? And that I would do with my statistical test. We can compare two things. We can see if drug A has any kind of effect on the patients or whatsoever. Alright, so this chapter is very close to confidence intervals, which I have already said, and most of the formulas which we have done in confidence interval, which now you will see them again in this chapter, except for binomial and Poisson. There is a bit change in these formulas. So now we don't have to memorize the different formulas for both the chapters. We can do it easily. Now there are few terms also. H0, H1. Let's see what these are. Test statistic, rejection. Let's get familiarized with these terms. So what H0 is? H0 is a statement which is assumed to be true. For example, I am saying that the mean effect of the drug A and B are same. So the mu A would be equal to mu B, and this is my H0. What we call H0 is that H0 is a true hypothesis. Hypothesis is a term which we take here. Now H1 is alternative hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis you can say, and what its meaning is, this is completely different from the above one. In the H0 case, we have assumed that mu A is equal to mu B. In H1 we will say that mu A is not equal to mu B. Alright, alternate hypothesis is something which is possible if the statement is not true. For example, I have said that drug A and B are equally effective. So what could be the other alternative? That they are not equally effective, and this is what I mean by this statement. Now, what TS means? This TS means the test statistic. It is basically a formula which we have used in confidence interval, and in that chapter we said that it is pivotal quantity. Now we say that it is test statistic. So all our formulas would be denoted as TS or the test statistic. Now reject. What is reject? If we prove that our H0 is not true, then we say that we reject the hypothesis. I'm sorry, this is not true hypothesis, this is null hypothesis. So we can reject the null hypothesis. Now, but if this is true, like if we can say that if H0 is true, then you would not say that you are accepting it. We would say that we do not reject the null hypothesis. Now, these both words you may see that these are true, like these are same words. We do not reject and we accept are same words. You may like look it like that way, but that's not completely true, because to accept a particular statement we have more criteria which needs to be held. So we cannot directly say that we are accepting that. We would say that we do not reject, but that doesn't mean that we are accepting. So for as of now we will write that we do not reject. And what are those other criteria that you would understand in like more subjects. Now let's understand few more terms in this chapter. So first of all, we have a like a kind of hypothesis, you can say. We can met simple hypothesis or a composite hypothesis. So let's understand what simple and composite hypothesis means. So let's say that I have said already that H naught is mu equals to 8. I am saying that the mean would be 8, true mean would be 8, and the alternative hypothesis is that mu equals to 6. Now, I am pretty sure that if mu is not 8, then it would be 6, because the alternative hypothesis is 6 only. So, why we are saying it like this? Because we have already said that if H naught is true, then the other possibility would only be H1. So, here we are sure that if mu is not 8, then it would be 6. Composite hypothesis is, let's say, H naught equals to mu equal to 8 and H1 is mu is less than 8. Here we are sure enough that mu is not greater than 8, but it can be equal to or it can be less than 8, howsoever. Like this could be anything. This range is like there's no lower bound in it. Although you may know that if all the x's are true, then the mu would also be like positive itself. But here is the range available, so what we call it is the composite hypothesis. And if we are sure about both the hypotheses, then that it's the simple hypothesis. To be very honest and frank, in our course we will consider only composite hypothesis, because this is very impossible to exist. Like it's very hard to understand that if mu is not 8, then it would be 6. It's very hard to stick on two values itself, because we don't know what the true value could be. We can say that it could be in range. We can say that it could be greater than 0, it could be greater than 10, but we can't be sure of a one particular value. Now there can be so many types of test. For example, the test could be two-sided and one-sided. The way we have like done the left-tailed or right-tailed confidence intervals, that is pretty similar to this one. For example, let's consider about smoking. So our H naught is that smoking makes no difference to life expectancy. Now our H1 has three possibilities. In any case, it would have three possibilities. For example, it says that what is H naught? Smoking makes no difference to life expectancy. It could say that smoking makes difference. So what H1 is? H1 is saying that smoking makes difference to life expectancy. Smoking increases life expectancy, and another part, smoking decreases life expectancy. Now, like this is common sense that this alternate hypothesis is really not possible. Smoking cannot increase life expectancy. If that's true, then everyone is smoker. All right, so the possible hypotheses are that it makes difference to life expectancy, and other is smoking decreases life expectancy. So these two are possible life expectancy. like these two are possible alternate hypotheses, you may clearly see that H1 is already containing the other two. Like if it makes difference, then it could be increase or it could be decrease, which is stated below. Alright, so now we can see that this one, that smoking makes difference to life expectancy, it can be any direction, increase or decrease. So this is a normal two-sided statistical test, and the other, like these two are one-sided, because these two are like focused on a particular direction. If it could be increase or it could be decrease. Now let's understand few facts about test statistic, what that is. So first of all, how do we calculate a test statistic? We would calculate it on the basis of the data given in the question. That is pretty sure, pretty obvious, and we will see it in the question which we will do. So now let's understand the few basic concepts of hypothesis testing. Let's say that it is a graph of, let's say, normal distribution. Like confidence interval, we are stick in hypothesis testing also on the like the level of significance. The thing which we have said that 95% confidence level or 99% confidence level is now changed with the level of significance, although they both have same meanings. But if you are saying that there is 95% level of confidence level, then there would be 5% level of significance. So this is the thing. Now let's understand that what would be our testing procedure. How would we do the test? So what testing procedure is? सबसे पहले, first of all, what we will do is specify the hypothesis to be tested. First of all, we have to test that what we have to test. We have to check what we have to test. Like what it is saying, that H0 is mu equal to 7 and H1 is mu is not equal to 7, mu is less than 7, mu is greater than 7. It could be anything. So first of all, we have to specify this. After this, we have to select a suitable statistical model, which we have to do. Then we would design and carry out an experiment or whatever the study is. Like we would write down all the data values which are written and calculate a test statistic. Then we have to do what we have to do. We have to calculate the probability value and then the conclusion of the test. Probability value is something which tells us if test statistic is consistent with H0 or H1. Alright, so if the probability value says that test statistic is H0 consistent with H0 only, then we would say that we are not rejecting our null hypothesis. And how do we calculate this probability value? What its role? We will see it now. Alright, so this was the basic. There is few more things as of now, but still. So we have understand that how like where we have to use hypothesis testing. This was all, and after this we have studied that what hypothesis is, basically a term. Then we have understood all these statements, H0, H1 and all. Simple and composite hypothesis is also done. Two-sided and one-sided test is also done. And here we have understand the meaning of level of significance. Now here we have done the testing procedure, how we would proceed with the testing. So testing would come most probably in the next video, because before testing we have a few more things to do. So now let's understand the meaning of errors, what error is. So what error is? Error is basically like here we are doing statistical test. Now there is no guarantee that the test would be right. There is no guarantee, obviously the test would be right. You may reject H0 when it is even true, and you may accept it, or you do not reject it, not write accept, do not reject. You may not reject it, but this is not true also, so you have to reject it. So what I am trying to say here is that statistical tests are not always true. There could be the error And what error is? It could be true that we have rejected it. We have rejected h naught, which said that mu is equal to 7. But in true facts also mu is equal to 7. It could be the thing that true mu is 7, which we may not know obviously. The true mu could be 7, but it could be possible that we have rejected this fact that mu is 7. Why we have done this? Because all our statistical tests have assumed something or have limitations. Like no one knows what the true value is. You only know the estimated value, you only know the sample mean. Alright, so this true value is known by only one person, and that is God, so you cannot know this. This is, I have taken very hypothetically. So I am just explaining the error term by this. It could be possible that we have rejected, I am writing it again here because the statement is a bit confusing. We have rejected h naught, but it was true. And the other thing could be we have not rejected h naught, but it was false. So when it was false, then we have to reject that now, but we haven't rejected. So this could be the thing. The statistical test may not always be right. So this was the error thing, that what the error means. I have explained the meaning. Now we would understand the type of error and the questions on this topic in our next class. So till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you so much. If you have watched the video till here, then please write down a comment so that I can know the number of audience which are watching me, and I would be motivated to make more actuarial videos. Thank you so much.